Castleford yet to get off the mark. It's been a disappointing match for them. Leo Denver, who came on as a substitute for Martin Afire, he came on and scored with his first touch in the place where Martin Afire might have been, and he hobbles his way to the bench. Looks like Afire has got problems with that toe injury again. He wants to come back on, but the medical staff say maybe he shouldn't, so he's taking his place on the bench again at the start of this second half. Frankly, London haven't needed him because they have looked pretty dominant in the opening half. They lead by 22 points to 0, and the London Broncos, who tonight end their Stone Super League programme here at the Valley, in good shape for a place in the Premiership playoffs, providing Warrington don't do the biggest party poop of all time at Knowsley Road. Two changes for Castleford. Graham Stedman and Andrew Schick have come on to try and sort things out. And Steve-O, sort things out they must, because that was a pretty poor first half showing from Castleford.
John Joyner, the coach, would have read the riot act, and rightly so. We discussed it at half-time that they were their worst enemy. Lack of discipline, forcing the pass when it really wasn't on, knock-ons. He's not a happy budgie, I can assure you, John Joyner. But I'm sure he would have told him that they've got to stand deeper, they've got to show a little bit more enthusiasm in the next 40 minutes.
Well, the end of the Castleford season, there's no doubt about that. And Castleford, I imagine, apart from anything else, one or two players playing for their places next season, perhaps. Well, one man missing for the London Broncos is their club captain, Terry Mattison, and Bill Arthur, busy boy, is down there on the touchline with him right now.
Terry, that must have been a pretty satisfied Broncos dressing room at half-time.
Oh, the coach still wasn't happy, you know, but one good thing, we're 22 points in front, so, you know, if we can really go on with it this first 10 minutes, I think Castleford will be looking at their end-of-season trip away.
What exactly does Tony Curry want tightened up on?
Oh, just around the middle of the rucks there. It's just a bit looser. They're making quite a few yards around there. But, you know, as I said, we're 22 points up, and, you know, hopefully I don't think we can lose it from here.
A slight pause in play because Darren Shaw has gone off and Gavin Allen has returned. Shaw, as you can see, is taking a spell in the blood bin. Blood just coming from the lip. But by the sound of things, Steve-O, Tony Curry, perfectionist that he is, another man who's been far from impressed with what he's seen in the first half. And he's that sort of coach. If they manage to win, the Broncos, don't think that it'll be an unchanged side in the semi-finals. If they make it next week, he'll make a few changes if he thinks it's necessary.
Well, there's no point really at half-time just letting the guys relax. You've got to keep them on their toes. Okay, it's quite easy at 22-0 for the Broncos to go to sleep, and once the rot starts to set in, that should have been a penalty. There was two men in attention there.
Tollett with a weaving run, taking on Gay and brushing away from Gay, finds Dinover. It's opened up for Dinover, ball back on the inside. Oh, jiggling skills there from Barwick, and he just couldn't take the pass in.
Well, what a try that would have been. It deserved one. On the third attempt, Barwick couldn't do it. Wasn't the best pass on the inside from Dinover, but what a tremendous effort from Tulson Tollett.
Well, it was Barwick's hat-trick that was beckoning then, and he just couldn't, as you say, he just couldn't take the pass in.
Beautiful jinking run. They went far too high. Richard Gay, the culprit there. It really has been a problem for the Castleford side.
Problem here for the Broncos. They've been penalised for messing around in the tackle at the play of the ball and stripping the ball away from the tackle player.
You see the ball just pulled away there. Tony Mestroff. Mestroff went low. Allen went pretty high. A fair tackle. It was a cruncher, though. That's been the difference between the two sides, really, that sort of defence like that, they've wanted to move up of the Broncos.
What a hit that was by Borden on Sampson. And Dean Sampson collided with the big London Bronco, and you could see it going through his mind then. He must have thought, what on earth was that? I can tell him it was a tackle from Russell Borden. Oh,
Bang. Oh, he's a strong boy as well, Samson. He's back into the fray again. Well, trying to lead by example. But they've got to get the combination going between Tony Smith and Frano Bottica. The two halves have really not combined at any point throughout this game.
This is Bottica now, an arcing run over. That was a forward pass, and it was straight into the advertising hoardings anyway.
He never looked. You'll see that he has his head away, and by the time the head goes round, it's gone forward. No chance for Chris Smith. Nice break, though. Stood up Barwick there. Still got a bit of speed as the experienced Frano Bottica. But that was awful. We mentioned it at the break that was another problem they were having. Lack of discipline. Far too many mistakes for any coach.
Broncos back in possession then. 5 minutes of this second half gone, and Tollett again helps it on to Barwick. Barwick this time the tackle from Bottica. David Krause at dummy half takes it again on the return from Tollett and has to take the tackle from Andrew Schick. Second half substitute on for the Castleford Tigers. Up the middle goes Allen. Good progress made. Goddard and Richardson halt. Langer, Barwick, misses out Tollett and finds Krause. Krause back on the inside, good quick hands. Tollett again, over the top, hack forward by Martin, just over the back of the line.
Good work and a good attempt there by the youngster. Spinning away, but he knew as soon as he dived that the ball had gone over the whitewash. But excellent play again by the Broncos. The use of the pass out wide and missing a man has really worked well for them. Unselfish running by the dummy player.
Well, Tony Smith scooting away from dummy half, and it's appropriate now that we take a look at the battle between him and Langer. And Langer certainly doing more work in the tackling. Missed tackle from Tony Smith and a couple of clean breaks. And the handling errors are level pegging. The kicks in general play, Tony Smith, and attacking kicks level. Steve-O, what say you? It's, I think, game, set and match at the moment to Langer, but the statistics maybe don't prove just how much Langer is on top in that particular area.
Well, he's been very creative. He's run the angles and he's dragged the defence across. And then when he's offloaded the ball, it's usually someone coming back on the angle. It really has been a great effort from Kevin Langer. We said before the match that it would be his job to shut down Tony Smith. Well, he's done a fine job in that department. We've only seen Smith at his best on a couple of occasions. Oh, that's a collision there, right in the face. Rosalind
and David Chapman, and Chapman is down and clutching the face.
There you see, Rosalind was trying to protect himself and brought the elbow up, and Chapman really felt it.
This is Mark Maguire, who hacks the ball forward under pressure there from Wells, and Richard Gay picks up, tries to get away from Tollett. That's good tackling from Tollett, but he's not in touch, Richard Gay. His feet were above the line. Tollett was the man over the whitewash, not Richard Gay.
He's lost it. On this occasion there you see, well, his foot did go down.
It did.
Either way, it was tremendous defence, and it is again. Oh, that's suicide. That's the try.
It is. Tony Ray. The referee has gone for the screen and handed the incident on to the video ref. But Tony Ray knows that it's a try, I think. Richardson tried to get the pass away round his ears almost. The ball bounced and Ray simply dropped on it. I don't think there's much doubt here.
Well, we talk about lack of discipline. I'm not so sure that Tony Ray got it down on the first attempt. I think he missed it. His body went down onto it. See, he missed it. Now then, that's going to be a difficult one. I'd give it as a no try for mine, but I'm not the official. But tremendous defence. Look at that. But that really was suicide, with Richardson trying to keep the ball alive. Keep hold of the football. At least you'd have had the dropout instead of the chance of giving the opposition a try. Well, for mine, I think that Ray missed it.
Well, everyone's waiting. Tony Ray amongst them, having a look at the screen. Our big screen here. No tries, the decision. And Tony Ray can't believe it. But he certainly didn't get to the ball with his hands.
He misses it the first attempt, so virtually it's a knock on. And that's why the tap on the quarter. See? Did his forearm and knocked to the ground. Well, with the technology, it certainly does help the officials. Takes a lot of pressure off the man out there with the whistle, Stuart Cummings.
Well, I think on the first look he would have given it, wouldn't he, Stuart Cummings? But he obviously had doubt, so he handed the decision on. And the rule states, doesn't it, Steve-O, it's got to be downward pressure, as Goddard makes a right meal of it. Downward pressure with the upper body.
Controlled.
Yes.
Well,
and that's not controlled.
It's going from bad to worse, isn't it, really? Castleford in a real mess at the moment. Richard Goddard.
But off the hook, Steve-O, with the no-try decision, you would think that would maybe give them a little bit of incentive to push on. Not a bit of it. Here's Peter Gill. Gets the ball back inside to Rosalind. Tony Ray denied the try, finds Langer, he finds Tollett. This is Barwick. Tollett back on the run around, big gap for Barwick, there for Tollett rather, and Tollett brought to ground eventually by Richard Gay. Richard Gay just doing enough to hold the Broncos up. This now is Barwick. The defence, again, this time from David Chapman. David Krause is the dummy half, going for glory. Out the back door it goes. Touch judge's flag is up.
It touched the whitewash. Well, that really was a great effort by the Broncos to keep that ball alive. Mark Maguire couldn't do anything about it. It did touch the line, but what a beautiful runaround that involved Tullett. I think he took the wrong option, though. He had Barwick on the outside of him. And it was an impressive build-up to that. Again, this solid defence by the London Broncos. It's been a feature of this game. Will please their coach, Tony Carey, I'm sure. Even though, as Eddie said, he's a hard man to please at the best of times.
Richard Gay spinning out of the tackle, but straight into another effort from Tollett. And I think he's claiming there that Gay lost that. Let's play on. This is Steadman. Former Great Britain international, Graham Steadman. Richard Goddard. He did lose it.
No, it was knocked out. So therefore, Tollett had the opportunity to take the ball. He didn't. So the advantage goes back to Castleford. Good refereeing.
Bottiger with the high kick. Martin. He takes those high kicks with all the coolness of a veteran.
Is that a fine match? Is that a fine season? In fact, you'd have to say that he is one of the young finds of Super League.
Yes, if he had played a full season, I think you would have to consider him as a possible young player of the year. This is Barwick. Barwick on a hat-trick, taking on Gay. Looking for support. It's there from Dinova. The try for Dinova. Second try for Leo Dinova. Created by the run from Greg Barwick. And when he was tackled, Barwick selfishly unloaded the pass. Dinova and the Broncos asking Warrington now if they want fourth place.
Outstanding play by Barwick. He just set up the opposition there. Steadman really had no answer for him. He went far too high. Not even a desperate lunge could stop him. See how he looked for the corner there to commit the full back. And then here comes the step. Quick thinking. He waits until Gay commits. Smith comes across. Dinova lurks around. Goes in for his second. Tony Smith gives him a bit of an early birthday present round the chops.
Dinova then with his second try of the match. A hat-trick against Castleford at Castleford last year. And two more here this evening after he has come on and replaced Martin Offiah. They'll miss him when he goes back to Queensland at the end of this season. And Greg Barwick now with the opportunity to add another 2 points to the Broncos total. And Leo Denver getting a great round of applause on the far side from the supporters. Massed over there. One or two unhappy Castleford Tigers fans, but plenty of happy Bronco supporters, even though Barwick misses with that conversion attempt. So it's 26 points to nil now. First try, second half to Leo Denver.
This has been the problem with the Castleford defence. They're going far too high. It looked as though there was nothing there, but it had the speed. And when Stedman went through, desperate lunge, couldn't get to it. The looks to the corner, waited till Gay committed. Good support play. He's happy, and rightly so.
Well, one of the endearing features of this first Super League season has been the emergence of the London Broncos as a real force in the game. And I'm sure that many of you at home have enjoyed with us here on Sky Sports the matches that we've brought you from the Valley this season. And it might be worth noting that they have lost to the top three here. Their only other slip has come against Halifax. And every time we've seen them on Sky Sports this season, they've been pretty impressive. They've certainly taken part in some magnificent matches. I'm thinking of the games against St Helens, Wigan, and also the match at Warrington. Some fantastic entertainment that we've brought you throughout this summer, and it's not over yet. We have a tremendous game in Prospect and Knowsley Road. A game that will light up the August Bank Holiday Monday. The Saints against Warrington. Warrington will have to win to claim fourth spot and a place in the Premiership playoff. St Helens have to win to claim the first Super League title. It couldn't be set up better. It's a winner-takes-all situation. I'm sure you will join us from 1:30. We've followed this race from start to finish. And Steve-O, it has been a summer to savour.
Unbelievable. We've had some tremendous games. I've always felt that once we got into a summer season, and on top of that, going full-time professional, our game would go up another gear, and it has. The skills that's been on show, apart from then...
Although not then by Russell Borden. Although the referee has got them for stealing the ball in the tackle, and on second view of that it looks a little harsh, but that's a penalty to the Broncos.
He just lost it. He was trying to flick the ball backwards. Really, when he didn't have any chance, you can see he lost control of it. Well, I suppose at 26-0 you could try to be a little bit crafty, but they'll take it.
7-4 penalty count, 26-0 scoreboard. Peter Gill, defence almost melts away. David Krause, just a little fumble.
Took his eyes off the football, perhaps not expecting it. But what a fine game the loose forward Peter Gill has had. And it makes you wonder what might have been with this London Broncos side. The late arrival of Krause, who's certainly impressed. It's a shame that Gavin Allen has not been able to give the effort on the field for a full season due to injuries. And of course the same could be said for Terry Maddison. They are two very, very good players, and they've done well to say that they've been without Mattison in the vital part of the Super League season.
Lee Crooks has returned, and here he is, taking over from Nathan Sykes. Brendan Tutor. Oh, he flicked the ball looking for Sampson. Well, things are going from bad to worse for Castleford.
Well, on this showing, it wasn't the best pass from Brendan Tutor. He passed the football with his back to the opposition. Prano Botica should really have dropped on it rather than try to take it on the half volley.
Tollett taking on Gay up the middle. Still going Tollett. I think the inclusion in the British Lions tour party has really lifted Tulson Tollett's confidence, although he was a fair player even before that. That's why he'd been selected.
Well, the Broncos going through the repertoire now of all their set patterns and moves. And why not 26-0. They're playing with confidence. Their build-up play has been outstanding.
Still the Broncos attacking that Castleford line. It takes 3 to haul him down. Mestrov plays the ball. Tollett just pops it up again to Barwick. I think they're trying to give Barwick his hat-trick. Stedman, though, drops on the loose ball gratefully.
You have to admire them. They're trying every trick out of the book. Little dummy and the popped-up pass from Tollett, but it wasn't to be for Greg Barwick. Just hit the chest. He was virtually kicking the conversion before planting the ball down. Well, the crowd now are chanting. The Broncos, they want more. They can sense that there's more spectacular tries ahead.
Richard Gay, good defence again from Tony Martin. Castleford in possession. Let's hear from Martin Afire, who is confined to the touchline because of injury. He's with Bill.
Martin, it's that toe injury again, is it?
Yeah, you know, I was feeling quite good today. The best I've felt since I've come down here. But I was protecting Tozza, the fullback, and I just got pushing the back.
And of course, Leo Diniver comes on. He's nicked 2 tries off you.
I know it's always the case, and I don't come off that often, but normally when I do, we either end up getting tonked or the winger goes in for a few. I think I've backed him for a hat-trick. I think he's looking for it.
But this must be really disappointing because you actually haven't had an opportunity to get into your groove yet with the Broncos, have you?
No, not really, but that's just the way it goes. Just got to, play your cards the way they're dealt.
Saving your best for the Premiership, maybe?
Well, we're not there yet, are we? So I don't want to count our chickens. But, the lads are looking pretty good tonight. They're going pretty well.
But is there a chance that the toe might be healed?
I'm hoping so. Each week it seems to be getting better, but this kind of awkward injury, I think it's genetic. My feet are too flat.
But you're looking to maintain this fantastic record you've got at Old Trafford as well. You haven't missed one, have you?
Yeah, I think I've played in nearly every Premiership final. Is that trick? I don't know.
That's a great try for Peter Gill. Did he get downward pressure on that? Peter Gill says he did. The referee is going to hand it on to the video ref.
I think his foot went over the dead ball line before he grounded the football.
It was a terrific run from Kevin Langer that set him up. And Peter Gill, he can't believe that there's a doubt. You're kidding, he says.
Well, I'm not so sure. Oh, just. It gets fine, doesn't it? Whoa, just got it down there before the left foot hits the whitewash.
Plenty of downward pressure on that.
Oh, the planting of the ball was all right. It was just whether the leg had gone over the line. It hadn't. Split second later, it does. But the architect again, Kevin Langer. Beautiful dash on the blind side. They've ripped them apart.
The try is given. Peter Gill had no doubts, but the referee absolutely right. In consultation with the touch judge, they couldn't be 100% sure he hadn't got the ball down before he slid out of the field of play.
Tony Ray elects on the blind side. Diniver out wide. Slip there. Beautiful back on the inside. Tuta couldn't get anywhere. They went far too high. Chris Smith. Well, what a way to finish off a fine performance. The build-up play from the Broncos is probably the best I've seen for quite some time. They are in top form. Looking good. All they do now is hope that Warrington can pull off the shock. Not pull off the shock, sorry.
No, that they can pull off the shock. Barwick with the conversion attempt. Just misses again. But 2 for Peter Gill, and London 30 points to 0, and Castleford now in danger of being nilled for the first time in Super League.
Tremendous effort. Spoken all night about the approach play. Slip back on the inside, unselfish running. Kevin Langer, determined run there. As soon as he gets the commitment, not the best attempted tackle there. Gill, who has run all night outside with the centres, loves nothing better than to do that.
You're right, by the way, they want Warrington not to pull off the shock.
That's right.
You're confusing me now, mind you.
Won't be the first time.
Exactly. So London, like Wigan, can just wait and hope. And it's all down to the very last match of the Super League season. Saints for the Championship, Warrington for 4th place and a place in the Premiership playoffs. Who writes these scripts? Dinever's chasing and evades 2 tackles.
Oh, the crowd loved that, and so did I. That was excellent play. Yeah, it's a big game tomorrow. You'd cancel your holidays to make sure you saw that one. And that'll be on tomorrow. Look at the skills here. In and out.
Tollett to Martin, and Tutor wrestles the 17-year-old to the floor.
Well, there's one thing about Brendan Tutor. He will not throw the towel in. He will be going right to the end. He tried hard, but they've been playing up an outstanding side tonight.
Yes, it's a comprehensive defeat. And they do believe here, deep down, that, well, whether it be Wigan or St Helens, they'll beat them in the semi-final. Don't forget the semi-finals. Next Saturday, we are at Wigan. Depending on the result on Bank Holiday Monday, it doesn't matter. We're still at Wigan on Saturday for the Premiership semi-final, number 1. And 24 hours later, we're at St Helens for the Premiership semi-final, number 2. Building up nicely to the big climax to the entire summer at Old Trafford on the 8th of September, 6:30 again. Kick-off at 7 at Old Trafford. 55,000 capacity. Wouldn't it be great to see the place filled to the rafters? It should be, to see skills like this.
How many times have Castleford just wasted the opportunity? They make the break, and the final pass goes astray.
It doesn't go astray, though, when the Broncos are in charge. That's Darryl Pitt taking the pass, and it's play on, and Krause is going to get another, and does. David Krause with the try. Referee waved play on.
It was pulled out one-on-one, and if you reef the ball away from the ball carrier, then that is play on. It's no good just reefing the ball away. You've got to drop on and make sure you regain possession. Back on the inside, and you'll see that Bottiger goes through, and they reef the ball away, and the referee could have given the penalty. He applies the advantage rule, and Krause, the big centre, takes the 4. Langert again, Tullett. The combination, the 2 halves, has been outstanding for the Broncos. This is where the ball is reefed through. See referee coming, saying play on. He could have given a penalty. There was more than one-on-one on the situation. They really are having a field day. Good run by Pitt. There you see the ball being reefed away. Krause said, I'm not hanging around.
And he gets the 4, and Barwick gets the extras. It was close to the post, but both touch judges had no doubt. The flags went up.
Reefing of the football. Rather than give the penalty, Krause says, I'm not hanging around. Well, there's been stars aplenty on this Broncos outfit tonight, including this man. He really has made an impact since he joined them midway through the season.
So 36 points to 0, and this is developing into one of the Broncos' best performances of the season. David Chapman is withdrawn by John Joyner, and Jason Flowers comes on. There's no way back for Castleford now, and just like Workington 24 hours ago, Castleford now are playing for their pride, and they're playing for consolation.
Well, we've praised the Broncos for their attacking ploys, but I'm sure that the Aussie coach Tony Curry will be happy with the way that the defensive line has worked like that. They really have worked overtime. deep inside. He doesn't show much emotion, Tony Kerry, but he'll be pleased with the defensive line. They worked hard for each other. Far too strong, that one. Or is it?
Stedman's kick from deep inside his own half. And it shows the problems that both sides have with this 6-yard in-goal area. And John Joyner knows, of the two coaches, he perhaps has a few more problems. The season will end and Castleford then will build for the next Super League in '97. And as Maurice Lindsay said, the top 8 in the Super League will be seeded for the Challenge Cup. So right the way through to the last weekend of the season, the points up for grabs have been important. Barwick with a high kick, Gay's underneath it, they're after him, Tollett and Diniver. That's a great take by Gay. And what's more, he was clattered over the try line.
Great kick, great take, wonderful defence. It's been a hard night for the fullback, Richard Gay.
Only his 3rd appearance at fullback for Castleford. 6 other occasions he was a substitute during Super League. It's not really been the best starts to his Castleford career. The England international fullback hasn't really hit the heights that they expected of him, I think, when they brought him from Hull. Gavin Allen and Sean Richardson. Langer into the body of Tollett, who then finds Darryl Pitt, and Darryl Pitt, lovely ball back on the inside. Barwick, hat-trick for Barwick. Great try, great smile, and the Broncos supporters enjoying this moment. They're really getting stuck into it now at the Valley. And Barwick, 15 Super League tries, has got to get his puff back to try and kick the extras.
They don't come much better than this. It was a superbly worked move. Look at that, running the angle. Darryl Pitt through the dummy. That entire defensive outfit. Beautiful pass on the back. And well played there by Barwick. The ball carrying arm did not touch the ground. Therefore, he could reach out. He took it well, Pitt. Little bit of a juggle. Again, going far too high. Tony Smith tried to stop, but to no avail. Upper body strength, determination. Ball carrying arm did not touch the ground. Fair try.
Well, they've only scored 2 hat-tricks in the Super League, have the London Broncos, and you're looking now at the man who has scored them both, Greg Barwick, and his first was against the Sheffield Eagles. Second here tonight against the Castleford Tigers. Well, it's a comprehensive victory now. Into the night sky, another 2 points. London 42, Castleford 0. There have been few better performances than this season.
Look at the angle there. Darryl Pitt will run off Tullett's pass, suck the defence through, throws the dummy. It's a fine effort. Well taken, well scored. They enjoyed that. Neat flick back. Good strength. Good thinking.
22 points for Greg Barwick now out of the 42. Tremendous display from him. And not only that, he has beaten his average clean breaks per match by 1. Oh. Rosalind picks up the loose ball. Castleford are digging a hole.
Andrew Schick made a real meal of that. That'll be back to 6.
It is, and this is Tony Martin. Picked out by Andrew Schick, who dropped the ball initially. Oh, big collision.
That was one move that didn't come off. They got the timing wrong there. And Allen took out Kevin Langer. Oh, dearie me. Just came a little bit too early or too late, depending on which one you backed.
Well, a high handling error count from both sides, but 42-0 for London Broncos. Their best win of the Super League season was 58-0 against Workington Town. And Castleford with 23 missed tackles. Statistics says it all, really. Oh, Steadman with a chip over the top, brilliantly read by Gill, who feeds Martin, and Martin is going to make it. Martin's going to get his second try for the Broncos, and Martin does, right in the corner. He had far too much pace. The chip over the top from Steadman, collected by Gill, and Gill said to the 17-year-old, off you go, and Tony Martin obliged.
Well, most players would have just stood back and made sure with possession as Gill did, but he just lifted the ball to the young full-back and away he went on the blind side. This is the chip over from Steadman. The option was okay, but watch Gill. He could have said, I'll make sure of possession, but the full-back was in a good position. He could see that the defence had moved out inside from the blind. Open run, nice try. He'll remember this one for a long, long time. Gill, the flick. See how the defence, Sampson, the prop forward, way back downfield. They were never going to get anywhere near him. Fine try. It really has been a tremendous effort by the Broncos.
Great all-round team effort, but one or two stars out there, Langer and Gill and Martin and Tollett. And there is an unhappy man, John Joyner, the Castleford coach. New contract, safely signed in his back pocket. He knows that he wants Castleford to be a force in the Super League. And he's staying for at least another year to try and turn them into that force. And Tony Curry already has the force. Barwick now with the conversion attempt. Gives it a chance. Misses. Just went wide of the post. Well, he shakes his head, but from way out on the touchline, you can be excused for missing those. 46-0, the Broncos. Tony Martin had to wait until last week for his first try. That's 2 in 2 games now for the 17-year-old fullback.
He hardly looks old enough to have just given away a paper round, isn't it? It's amazing.
I was going to say, it looks like he should be still at school, never mind in the Super League.
And he's not frightened to say a few words either. Some of the experienced Bronco players, they were telling me last week that he really does natter to them. Tells them where to fill in and keeps going. It's as though that he'd been around for many, many years. Slotted in like a veteran.
Crooks picks himself up eventually. Tutor is the dummy half. Gavin Allen's gone off and Mestrov has returned for the last 6 minutes or so. This is Steadman and here's Richardson. Richardson with the break, but Tollett gets the pass in. Steadman then tosses it up into the arms of Krause. And Krause has got Maguire. And Maguire's taking them on for pace out wide. And Maguire is going to make it. What pace from Mark Maguire. A Super League debut against Castleford in May. And a try here against Castleford in August. They're running riot.
The error count, again, must be very, very high for this Castleford outfit. Full credit, they did at least try to salvage a try by keeping the ball alive. It didn't come off for them. And Maguire plonks it to them. Steadman flicked the ball up, but to the wrong side. Showed the speed, though. Pinned the ears back, off he went. Boddicker nowhere near. A determined run. Beats our sound guy on the sideline quite easy. They really are looking impressive. Well, if Saints do win the Super League and Warrington miss out on those 2 points, this really is a confidence booster for the Broncos.
Here is the conversion attempt again from Barwick. He misses another, but the Broncos have scored 10 tries tonight, and they have run in 4 in the past 12 minutes. And as Steve-O says, at 50 points to nil, a real confidence booster for the semi-final, if it is a semi-final to come. 50 points to nil. Castleford have been systematically dismantled at the Valley. Now don't forget, it all comes down to this match. Saints against Warrington, a bank holiday Monday to remember. 1:30, we're live and exclusive from Knowsley Road. Put it simply, Saints must win to claim this first Super League title. Warrington now must win to reclaim 4th place from London and qualify for the Premiership semi-final and a chance for Old Trafford.
I know that the Broncos coach, Tony Kerry, will be getting all his players together, apart from one, which is the hooker. Tony Ray, he'll be our guest tomorrow. Oh, and that really just sums it up, doesn't it? It's been a poor night. Richard Goddard spilling the football. But they really will be watching intently. The Broncos, oh, they're having fun out there now.
And Dean Sampson pushing Darryl Pitt. Pitt looking for the penalty, which wasn't forthcoming. Tollett, who has taken them to the cleaners. So has Krause. Back to Gill. Gill to Tollett again. Tollett to Maguire.
Well, the loose forward, Peter Gill, what a night he's had. He's now controlling things. He's gone into the middle of the park and running around like a prop forward ball handler.
Borden with that run, cleaned out by Jason Flowers in the end, but 18 yards from the line again. And this is Mestrov straight up the middle. More pressure here on this Castleford line. Tony Ray, as Steve-O says, will be our guest at St Helens, along with Inga. Vaiga Twigamala is coming too. I wonder if it all goes wrong for St Helens, whether he will take the lap of honour with the trophy. I doubt it. Barwick, it's a field day. It's 4 tries. 4 tries for Greg Barwick, who has had a night to remember here.
Keeping the ball alive, power play on the last. Langer, nice ball out wide. Smith left his position far too early. He was in within 2 minds whether to go for the intercept, and in the end he was caught out. And Barwick, gleefully, the points machine continues. It ticks over. Langer, beautiful play. You can see Smith had gone too early. It was a beautiful pass from Langer. Little doubt in mind that the battle that we had today, the 2 halfbacks, there he is, Langer. In fine form, snuffed out Tony Smith, snuffed out any chance of the Castleford Tigers doing anything tonight.
Well, 4 tries in a match for Greg Barwick, and it equals their best tries in a match scored by Mark Riley, Mark Johnson, Scott Roskill, Evan Cochran, Paul Hoff and Shane Vincent. They have been scored against the likes, though, of Highfield, Bramley, and then Sheffield Eagles and Workington. But this right out of the top draw by Barwick, who adds yet another 2. 56 points to nil, and that's the full-time siren. Well, Greg Barwick, certainly the star of the show here with his 4 tries, but it would be difficult to pick out a true and complete man of the match. Instead, let's pay tribute to the entire Broncos side, who have put on a near faultless display here for this crowd at the Valley, and they now will wait and hope that Warrington don't do the trick against St Helens, and it will be the Broncos who will go into the Premiership playoffs. Certainly their display tonight deserves it. but there is a very important 80 minutes that lies ahead, and the Broncos can do nothing about it now. They have played their part. They have hammered Castleford Tigers here. 56 points to 0, final score. Heroes all in the Broncos jersey tonight, but perhaps Barwick the pick.